good evening.
Oh, hello. Are we here already?
Hello, friends.
I swear that countdown gets shorter and shorter every week, bro.
I thought it was Wednesday today.
Oh, did you really?
Oh,
That means
Up until about
you
noon.
don't pay attention to the Discord.
Well, that was a nice surprise at noon, though, right?
Shots fired.
What at noon? What?
It was a nice surprise. Oh, fuck, it's
Yeah,
Thursday.
I got an extra day. I like time traveled.
Queen first. First again.
Well, I hope so. She's in the house.
Yeah, she kind of
In your
knows when
house, not mine.
I say let's go, huh? Let's go, let's grow. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Beyond the Streams with THF, episode 4 of the Young Season 2. Tonight, we are talking everything retro with our friend, Uncle Gutty, the retro historian. And we're going to figure out what retro really means, because I feel like it's a... retro is like it's thrown around really easy, but
it's a buzzword.
Yeah. What time period really is retro, right?
Depends on how old you are, I guess.
Does it? It's like classical music, right? You turn on classic rock right now, and they're starting to play stuff that I listened to in high school, and I'm mildly offended.
All right.
I'm offended. You know?
Yeah. I heard some of that the other day. Yeah.
It's like,
what's up, X-Man?
And now here's an oldie, and it's like, no, this
Backstreet Boys.
This is Nirvana. Like,
Oh, fuck.
Oh, just turn it off. You're on the wrong station, period.
But yeah, so without further ado, why don't we bring in Mr. Uncle Gutty, and maybe he can shed some light on the subject. This is where I need audience participation. We need claps.
Yay.
Welcome.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Glad I could reach you about your extended car warranty.
Oh, I'm out.
Hang up.
There we go.
I like that. I like some of you guys. I like how that discussion is good. Is what is retro? Because I had that same discussion a couple weeks ago on my own stream with my followers, and I have an answer for you guys.
Okay, lay it on us.
Like I said, being the retro historian, I've made up an answer. So you got to think about it. So retro comes from the word retrospective, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking back and thinking fondly of stuff. It's been shortened to retro, and instinctively people think it involves the 80s. Because when we say that, who's saying it? Gen Xers, like us, right? Yeah. So I tell people now that retro is all based upon context. It's where you were basically when you were at the best time of your teenage years. Gen Xers, it'll be the 80s. So it's default to that. So that's part one. The other part two is it is a place that people want to be, a decade they want to be. So even the kids that were born in the millennials, like my daughters and all that, they consider 80s retro. Now, if you go back and think about it, when we were teenagers, what was retro to us? 1950s, Grease, motorcycles and stuff like that, right? We watched Happy Days. Happy Days was good, not because it was a good story.
Great theme song.
See that theme song? We got to see the 50s. So retro is what you make it out to be, but usually it's a time period where you were a teenager and you get that boost of serotonin. Like, yeah. So right now, for me, it's 80s, 70s, early 90s. Talk to my daughters, maybe the 2000s, but I say 80s for retro.
I mean, that's what we were talking. You know, it's kind of like classical music. Which era of music is now classical to you? And so classical and retro are kind of almost interchangeable terms.
80s pop music is now golden oldies.
Like classic
seriously,
right?
they said golden oldie 1980s.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, I've heard the radio, and you think about it, the 80s were what 40 years ago. So
yeah, that's crazy. I see memes that are that say that though. They're like, I'm still trying to process the fact that 20 years ago isn't 1980.
Yeah, it's yeah. When you hear somebody's like, "Oh, it's born in 2000," they're 23.
Yeah, my eldest was born in the 1990s. So yeah, we think the 80s is just around the corner.
I tell you what, though, in in 2021, it was really easy to check IDs.
Yeah, well, yeah, 100%.
1990s or 1900s? Oh, you're in. 2000? Nope, you're out.
But I could ask each of you, I could actually find out exactly what was retro to you. Exactly. 80s is the best rock. And there's no question, because the joke with the 80s is that every song was a hit on the radio.
Mhm.
Every song, every band had a one-hit wonder, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
A lot
there
of them are
tons
still they're still toe tappers, right? Like even they're just getting recycled, right? Like so many of them are still on the radio in some form.
If it
Well, how many
wasn't
have
for
been
copyright,
sampled? Yeah,
oh
Oh,
yeah,
for all the
absolutely.
other rap and
I was
exactly.
gonna say, if it wasn't for copyright issues, we could play some 80s songs right now.
do they
It'd
sample the Beastie
probably
Boys?
be our best stream ever.
Well, you raise a good point. Not even just sampling, Dan. They've been actually putting 80s songs in a lot of movies, if you notice.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you know why
Like
they do that?
Sabotage and
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
Star Trek movies.
All the
Intergalactic.
nostalgia that goes with it.
That was BC Boys. I think that's what you were
You got it,
referring to,
Moose.
right? Yes.
But if you
And-
notice, it's not just 80s anymore, because look at the there's a lot of stuff coming from the 90s that's been remixed or
Hey,
sampled too. Like look at the Batman, the newest Batman movie with
Robert Patterson,
Twilight.
Zoe
Yeah.
Kravitz. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a remake. The main song for a lot of those pre trailers was the what was it, remix Nirvana song, wasn't it?
It wasn't Seal.
Exactly.
I don't remember
was-
that one.
Yeah. It sticks in your head.
Was it a Nirvana
Seal, Kiss
song?
from a Rose.
Yeah, no, that was
That's
like
my
been a
gosh.
popular
that was, way
song
back
right
then.
now too. I
Um,
just heard they just did that in Yellow Jackets, I think it was.
they did. Yep.
Yeah, Yellow. If you guys watch Yellow Jackets, okay. So that I've got this question written down because I kind of want everybody to answer.
I've
this.
also got a theory for you too. So lay in your question. I'll do my theory for you.
Go,
Like
go
this.
find your notes.
Wait a second.
So-
Are you reading his mind?
I'm gonna eat.
Yeah. So what is better? Actual retro shows and movies, like shows and movies from the time period, or these new movies and shows
Ooh.
that are going back to the retro time period, i.e., Back to the Future versus Stranger Things.
I have an answer, but I'll let you guys. That's first. I got a perfect
Who
answer
who
for this.
wore it better?
It's like, okay, so nowadays we kind of get the best of both worlds because they're so talented and there's so much technology available to you. You can do an 80s setting show
Mhm.
perfectly, i.e., Stranger Things. And so you get the best of both worlds because we have all now going back and watching a lot of movies, Back to the Future excluded. Most of them don't hold up over time.
Yep.
Most of them were pretty horrible, but
There's no question.
there are some shining stars. There's some really good stuff from the 80s that still is like who can watch Back to the Future and not enjoy it? You
Love
know,
that movie.
Everybody.
it's one of the best.
My kids enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. Like it
Yep.
it holds up. It holds up over time. And there's a
Yes.
lot of stuff from back. I mean, even the 90s, even the early aughts that just doesn't hold up over time. If either it was bad CGI, it was, I don't know, a bad theme, like that's not okay nowadays, or
True.
just whatever. You know, there's a lot of different reasons why. Hang on, we gotta
High on
pause
life
real quick. We gotta say
again?
hi to Q, who's high on life apparently. Hello Q.
Thank you.
Hi.
What
Hi.
kind of life have you been smoking
I've,
today?
Yeah. Hope
But
it's-
yeah,
hope it's-
so
hope
I
it's
mean,
retro
what do you
memories.
like better, actual retro items or remakes? Almost, you know, like stuff that's set in retro times.
I've got a perfect answer, but you guys can go ahead first. I've been thinking about this for a long time.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Somebody
it's
else go.
tough. The technology has changed so much that it's almost painful sometimes to watch,
Mhm.
even though you love it. It's just the technology has changed so much it just doesn't feel like it did when you were a kid.
100%. Very
The
100%.
technology is so good now that you can make it look as crappy as it was in some of the 80s movies, right? So that's kind of a thing.
But what
do
for
really
you
want
guys
to?
is like an 80s or retro movie or music or whatever that hits the same way now that it did then? Like,
Oh, easy. Princess Bride.
oh,
That's a good one. Yep.
Princess Bride is timeless. Like it says retro historian right down here.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
guys said it upon right. Like some of the retro films do not hold up. They're a product of their time and all that, and that's okay. When we saw them as kids, we were enthralled and our imagination patched in the holes and all that. Some films hold up. Princess Bride is timeless. There's no question about that. You got films that actually sucked in the 80s, no question. Dark Crystal was a box office loser, almost sunk Jim Henson's career. Now it's a timeless classic. Labyrinth was not well received. It was panned by the critics. Now it's timeless classic and all that. So you got that kind of piece. You've got stuff like Commando, which is a terrible over-the-top action film that makes no sense. But we still watch it because it's corny and cheesy. We have that feeling. So for the old stuff, there is stuff that holds up, but there's stuff that we still watch. You know why we watch it? Because it makes us feel good and remember the old days. It's that retro feeling, right?
Yeah.
That's why the old stuff is good.
But back in my day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love what you said in the very beginning, how retro is almost like a feeling. It's like
it's a boost of serotonin.
Yeah. I like that. I like that definition. Probably
Yeah.
I would never have thought about that. And that's
I've
already
learned for a
learned.
long time. Yeah.
I've already learned tonight.
If I asked
that's a
you,
good one.
name me one of your favorite 80 movies, and don't worry if it was a good film. Just name it. You know, like what film do you like watching from the 80s?
Top Gun.
Top Gun. Awesome
Terminator.
film.
Teen Wolf.
Terminator. Yeah.
Teen Wolf.
Yeah. Terminator. Yeah.
Teen Wolf. Exactly. These are all films that like
The
Teen Wolf. I
Empire
just
Strikes
watched.
Back.
Teen Wolf is
Yeah.
Teen Wolf
Empire
is
Strikes
horrible.
Back, the best, but
Teen Wolf is
Wolf-
horrible, but
Yeah.
it's great. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
I tried to watch it again, and I was like, oh wow,
It's still fun though.
I didn't realize it was this bad. Like like the hair
Exactly.
growing, and it was like it was cringe. It was definitely cringe, but I couldn't look away because I remember like the nostalgia just sucked me in.
You know where you were when you watched it or watched it multiple times. It was in a theater with your girlfriend, whatever. Top Gun, all those action films. Remember the violent films. We had Commando, Bloodsport, Jesus all heck and all that. But we enjoyed them because it was period of the time. And that's absolutely okay.
Yeah.
Now, gonna turn your head for you. Modern take, Stranger Things. I've got a theory about this. Shows like Stranger Things and Riverdale. Riverdale is basically a very spicy, poorly written teenage drama wrapped in an Archie wrapper.
That's on the CW, right?
Yep. Stranger Things. If you strip away the 80s, it is kind of basically just a teenage supernatural coming of age tale. That's all it is, basically.
Yeah.
But when you layer that nostalgia on top of it, you kind of get distracted from some of the weaker parts of the story because you're drawn in the nostalgia. You see that pudding cup, and you're like, "Oh, I remember those." You see that Coca-Cola or the cup, like, "Oh yeah." Or when Hopper's driving that old GMC, my dad used to have one of those, and you get sucked right in, and you kind of get distracted from the story, and you're kind of wrapped into the feeling, and that's okay.
That's a really good point.
No, it's honestly it's genius.
Yeah.
Like the way you break it down and separate the layers like that from the. I mean, I don't remember seeing any holes in Stranger Things. Like I thought it was a great
we weren't
show.
smart back then.
But
now,
but you remember the old Coke can and the
That's
right?
the first thing I told. In fact,
That's when the holes
I think
are.
it was Gutty. I messaged about it. I was like, the nostalgia is like holding me in this show that I never thought I'd even care about.
Yep.
Because I waited until season 4 was on before I even started watching it.
And here's the best part is, and because I'm a retro historian, right? As the seasons progress, they get sloppier and sloppier. They're 80s references. Some of the products don't appear in the right time. I know it sounds stupid, right? The fashions start to blur together. In season 4, Winona Ryder said, "Hey, you can't use that song because we're in 1980, whatever. That came out next year, kind of thing." So if you watch later seasons like I do, a lot of the references fall flat because, well, they were in that time period. And in some cases, I'm a little harsh. It's more like, oh, this is kind of a boring part. Hey, here's a can of Jif peanut butter. Remember Jif peanut butter? And they're kind of staring at, like, with Hopper and I forget isn't terrible. I forget Renault's wires. They're in that church, right? And you're staring at them. It's kind of boring. And you see this crate of Jif peanut butter going, that's Jif peanut butter. So that's my thing with Stranger Things. As it progresses, you're drawn into the nostalgia. And while the story is some good in parts, I still like watching it. It's that whole nostalgia retro feel that keeps pulling you along. And it's done right. Retro done right.
Yeah.
And it definitely reinvented Dungeons and Dragons and revitalized it too.
100%. Dungeons and Dragons, all those Star Wars toys that we saw, you want to collect those again and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And like I said, so that's what it is. At this point, basically, the 80s is not so much present retro on that. So we're kind of paying more attention to the story. But like I said, when done right, it can enhance the story. Now, I got another one for you guys. Who's watched Mad Men?
No, I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch that one.
Well, if you watch the first few episodes,
it's on my list.
The story's not bad. It picks up around season 4. I was watching my mother, but the attention to detail of the time period they're in is insane. And they keep this consistently through 7 seasons. Like, I watched 6 seasons and I was watching what's going on, and I know I'm kind of picky about it, right? And they were doing stuff like, you won't remember this, but someone has a headache. She reaches in her purse, pulls out this little steel tin of aspirins. I remember those. The attention to detail in that show is so precise and enhances. Like, you feel like you're actually watching the period. Remember how you said at the start, is it better to watch the original or stuff that's remade?
Mm-hmm.
It depends. Yeah. Mad Men feels like you're watching the period piece. Stranger Things at times feels like you're watching something that someone was told about the 80s and they're kind of rewriting it out, kind of thing.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So,
when you said pull out a steel tin, I thought you were going to say Altoids.
Well, even like they used to sell like aspirin in an 8-pack, 4 on top of 4, a little small yellow tin at drugstores. You put them in, and back then things came in
like
tins.
the top slid.
Were that way too, like Sucrets and those
it hinged open.
It was
that. Okay. It was that so micro detail. I'm like, holy cow! And you got it right. So yeah.
Oh,
so
that's
cool. Like I said, it depends. Like the old stuff, some of it is good. Some we watch for just to feel good. The new stuff can be the same way. My kids don't mind Stranger Things, but they know from their dad what the 80s was really like. So, well, yeah, that is like, that's not like kind of thing. So,
Now we're also a little bit different age groups here. So I'm 45. Bowler Dan,
almost 53,
and Dabs is our young buck here.
31.
Yeah, and then Moose is
40.
40. Yeah,
and I'm 51.
Yeah, so we got a little bit of age difference. So Dabs, what's retro to you?
The 90s are the best for me, and the early 2000s.
Okay, so you would that's interesting because you're younger and you don't go as far back.
I'm the oldest Covenanter.
Yeah.
So Dabs,
I love the 90s.
Yeah.
We all
do. So you were right? Born in the 90s, weren't you? So the 2000s would have been your teenage years, I suppose, right? Around there? Yeah. So I was going to ask you about the 91 Turtles movie, but that's too early for you. Like that's there's definitive decades, like the Turtles movies, we've got that period, right? And then you get to the 2000s. So for Dabs, it'd probably be stuff like I don't know, maybe Independence Day.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Like
that's one of my favorites.
Shrek. You're always probably a Shrek fan, right? That's your retro period, I think.
Yeah. I love Shrek. I was watching it with my kids.
Yeah,
they were growing up. So.
Almost in middle school. When
Here we go. The 90s were before
Fortnite, yeah.
Pre-Fortnite.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you can look back to the decade when you were a kid or a teenager, and that is your kind of retro period, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, of course, that makes sense.
Of course, Shrek is timeless. Like I watch Shrek, kids watch Shrek, parents watch Shrek. There are some pop culture references in it, but it's
I'm a huge fan of 90s sitcoms.
I was gonna say because that was like
sitcoms.
The second renaissance of TV, in my opinion. Like, oh my god, was it like In Living Color. I'm trying to think of the stuff from the 90s.
Oh, yeah, with Jim
Yeah,
Carrey.
like
Saturday Night Live in Living
there
Mad
was
Color.
TV.
Simpsons were at the very
Uh,
beginnings in the 90s. I think they started in what, 89, 88, 89?
Yeah, late
there
80s.
Seinfeld and Friends.
Seinfeld and
Exactly.
Friends were like the
Boy
big
Meets
ones.
World.
It was the
for sure.
tentpole of the 90s.
Full House, Family Matters.
Yep.
Step by step.
Step by Step.
Oh,
Yeah.
TGI Fridays,
Oh,
bro.
that's
Hanging with
right,
Mr.
yeah.
Cooper,
Get me
yeah.
started on
Yes.
TGI. Boy Meets
Growing
World.
Pains.
Yep.
Yeah.
Boy
That's
Meets
good stuff.
World,
Exactly,
yes.
there it is.
Boy Meets World is my favorite show of all time.
And it's
Yeah.
funny they should mention Full House and Boy Meets World because they did Fuller House recently on Netflix and another
Yes.
Boys Meets
Girl,
World reboot.
Girl Meets World.
Girl Meets
Yeah.
World.
I didn't
That's
watch
right.
either one of those, but
I watched
Girl
I
it.
heard
Meets
some
World,
people
like,
saying that they
Girl
were
Meets
interesting.
World does not hold up.
That's
What
too
doesn't
bad.
hold up?
Girl Meets World.
Oh, yeah, no.
I heard Fuller
Yeah.
House was okay.
It was
not-
cool to see
Fuller
like,
House was okay.
like some of the actors again, like on
Yeah.
TV, but
Yeah.
They
Now I
still have
really do like the Cobra Kai show on Netflix.
Yes, that was good.
Yeah,
I
I don't
really
mind
like
the first
it.
few seasons, but I thought that was done right to bring back just the right amount because instead of trying to relive the glory days, it's like, okay, here's the present and here's what they've been doing the last 30 years. No problems with that.
They all there's that internet theory, that LaRusso was actually the bad guy the whole time.
Oh, it was.
And there's
was.
a case for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so they almost embraced it.
I
They really kind of did in Cobra Kai because there's certain points where he's kind of a jackass.
Yeah, he
And
is.
and they totally like embraced that instead of him just being the 80s. It was like, this is your hero, this is your bad guy. No matter what he does, it's good. No matter what he does, it's bad. Like, and that's your story. But now we kind of open up and we see it. You can see it from different points of view.
we've had decades to pick it apart, though.
Right. And Cobra Kai like kind of embraced that theory of maybe he wasn't just a good guy, and maybe he wasn't just the bad guy. Like they gave him more. They gave him more layers, and it's like the improvement of cinema from the 80s to now.
And that's one thing that they've done right with Cobra Kai because don't forget back in the 80s, right? It was always the weak underdog who overcomes something. Teen Wolf, for example, right?
Right.
And they succeed in the end, right? And
Yep.
Karate Kid,
Against
weak
all
underdog,
odds.
overcome something. To replay that story nowadays wouldn't work. So if you take it that Russo is now successful and a jerk, and Johnny's now the underdog, plays out just perfectly, basically. So that's why I really like the first few seasons of Cobra Kai. It's done right, and they bring back all they play all the greatest hits with all the killers coming back and all that. Like I said, that I thought was one of the retro revivals done right, in my opinion.
Yeah, I did too. I really like it. They got another season coming out soon, and they've also like done a lot of character building on the new kids, like the new generation, and some of the later seasons have been a little bit more about them than it was in the beginning when it was just about LaRusso versus Johnny. So,
well, that's what you have to do, right? Because eventually the stories have to end for the 80s. If you want to keep the franchise going. A good example is Next Generation, right? Star Trek Next Generation.
Mm-hmm.
If any of you watched the Picard seasons,
Which was awesome.
It's a whole other discussion. The first couple seasons are so mishmash. The last season basically is Next Generation season 8. They
definitely got their shit together.
Yeah, brought back the old
they
crew,
went.
gave the people what they want as a send off, and there was that hook. If you want to keep the story going with new cast, so exactly. And again, retro sells.
yeah.
And even if you look at the new Stranger Worlds that they have, which is just pre-Kirk, they do an awesome job of that one too.
I am a huge fan of that series.
Yep.
Of course, I'm a
Me
sci-fi
too,
guy.
yeah.
Discovery
I didn't like the whole singing episode that they had
Oh,
like
that was funny.
1 or 2 ago. I actually didn't finish watching it.
Why's everybody doing a singing episode now?
I have a theory about Star Wars in particular.
Chat apps.
That they each generation they would re-release like the new set of movies. Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, I
Like
know exactly what you're talking about.
like when you were a kid, it was the 70s, and then when you were an adult and had kids, the next set came out, and then when those kids became adults, their kids.
Like it was a whole plan. Like they've had this planned out the whole time.
I just think they've released them at certain times to because it brings in those feelings of retro. You know, oh, I remember watching these when I was a kid. Now I want my kids.
Yeah, it's like you bring like Disney movies, Dabs. You're probably too young to remember this, but Disney's films only be available in the theaters, and they'd cycle out every 15 years or so. So you watch it as your kids, and then next thing you know, you're bringing your kids. As Dabs brings up, it's a way to keep people invested in the franchise. And you know, not many people young today were alive back in '78 when Star Wars was released, the first one. But
That's
that
when
whole release,
I was born after it, right after it was released.
Yeah, but that whole release just keeps them hooked, Dabs, and that's the whole point. That's a brilliant one because, you know, it's. If I was to show Star Wars New Hope to someone fresh off the street, they'd probably just go, "Oh, okay, whatever." But when you bring in your kids or someone you know, your friend or whatever, right, and you're passionate about it, and you show them Star Wars New Hope, and explain it, and they kind of get hooked on it, and that's the way it goes, kind of thing. Yeah, and now we get Star Wars probably all over the place.
Yeah.
I also think they were waiting for the technology to catch up because they wanted to do a ton of technology stuff, and they were just the technology wasn't quite there yet.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, the stuff that they did to make Star Wars still kind of blows my mind. Like, you know, they had little ships on strings.
The miniatures,
and like just it's actually incredible that they were able to do as much as they did. When you look at other movies from that same time period that just pale in comparison, it's no wonder why Star Wars is like a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
You know,
They were inventing the techniques.
Transgenerational.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see the Disney's documentary on the light magic? There's a whole document on how to do all that, how they did all that stuff, and how they brought up that company. It's an awesome documentary.
Yeah, so in the 70s, sci-fi was seen as cheap poo-poo. There's no good 70s movies start sci-fi. Lucas had this vision for a long time, and it was thanks to his American Graffiti that made money. The studio said, "We'll take a chance on you," and he did it. But it was like they called it the largest independent film ever done, kind of thing. And as you said, Boulder, he was inventing this technology, the cameras, the special effects on the fly because he believed in it. The thing was, it panned out for him. But a lot of that, like, that's what we give George Lucas crap for some of the stories and all that. It's his will and his vision to push that forward. And again, another retro tie-in. A lot of the stuff he put on the screen was inspired by the Flash Gordon serials of the 40s and 50s that you used to see as a kid. That's what he wanted to make, but better on the screen. So that was his retro inspiration moment.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, didn't Star Wars pull a lot from Dune and some other show called what was it called?
They certainly had their pick when they were doing things. They had lots they could kind of go and be like, oh, I like that, but let's do that better.
Books, though.
Wasn't so much Dune, but there were several Japanese shows that, you know, the Lone Drifter and the Wise Wizard and all that kind of stuff. This whole cliche that Lucas embraced to bring forward, basically. So it was heavily inspired by that, absolutely. But yeah, like I said, because no one had any faith that Star Wars was going to be successful. The only reason it got played because the studio bullied other theaters into carrying this film called The Edge of Midnight. The Edge of Midnight was supposed to be the film of '78, and if there's one of that film, they had to play Star Wars. Need to say The Edge of Midnight. Yeah, I'm dead serious.
I've never even heard of that other movie.
Yeah. The Edge of, pretty sure that's what it's called. It was basically, you know, it faded pretty quick. They had actually extra prints for Star Wars.
Yeah, but Star Wars is a great example of a theater production that actually wasn't like a hit right out of the gate.
Star Wars was.
Star Wars was. I was thinking that it was more of a once it was like out there in the public, it started just gaining more and more momentum.
Oh, I'll put it this way. It was a hit out of the gate. It became a phenomenon after a month, basically. You couldn't get into it. I'll tell you this. Here's my story, too. I was 4 years old. I saw the trailer for the space movie on TV, and I was immediately captured by this, basically. I bugged my dad for weeks to see this thing. He had no idea what it was, basically. He said when he took me, we had to get there early to get a seat because it was people were lined up, and we got in. And over the weeks as I got going, Wakko, it just got longer and longer.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I guess I have it mixed up with something else from that same time period. I was thinking,
a lot of
something else that was like that was a bomb in the theater. Oh, well, you talked about it earlier, Crystal.
Crystal. Labyrinth. A lot of them that we take for granted today are just like, oh gosh, I'm surprised. They were not hits out of the gate kind of thing. Star Wars was a hit, but it became a phenomenon after weeks. And like I said, they had to make extra prints. They did not make enough prints for the first time around because then every theater wanted it at that point.
Didn't Dark Crystal get real popular because of people tripping on different extracurricular activities? It became kind of a cult.
Like
I wouldn't be surprised that was the case.
Have you seen it, Dads?
No, I think it was LSD actually.
Oh, LSD. Yeah.
I don't know. I think Dark Crystal became pop after Jim Henson died, so the drugs didn't help, obviously. But it was like, we talk about movies ahead of their time. We talk about retro. There's also stuff that is like way out there that when it was released, like, no, not going to happen. Now we're like embracing stuff like that. But yeah, we talked about movies, talked about music. What about clothes? Anyone have any kind of like color changing T-shirts?
Everything comes around, goes around, man. It's I feel like the kids nowadays are living style wise in like multiple decades at once.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Oh, it's so crazy, bro. It's like
100%.
Oh, I used to wear that when I was in grade school. Oh, I used to wear that when I was in middle. I used to wear that when I was in high. It's like they're all over the place.
Oh, I just said Wakko. It's so far out. It's back in now. It's back in now.
Everything's back in.
2000 to 2010.
So, Dad, did you have like big pants, big baggy pants, parachute pants, big jeans?
Not parachute pants, but baggy jeans.
Baggy 90s jeans.
I had
Etna shoes. Or
the 90s was the era of the Jinkos, man, where the pants were that big, that wide from the crotch to the ground.
Where I remember the most was like 2000, 2010.
There wasn't a boot cut anywhere.
No.
I only wore
it was in the 90s. It was boot cover.
Yeah. If the bottom of your jeans wasn't the same size as your shoe, you were a loser.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, 80s style for me was denim jacket. You had a denim jacket in the 80s.
Denim.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like I said, you had various styles. You had the denim jacket style. You had what was called the prep style, which was basically boat shoes, pastels, rolled up sleeves.
Yep.
Suspenders were in.
If you were wearing your jeans, you cuffed them, right?
Cuffed them. Yep.
Yeah.
Jeans, right?
Early 90s.
Yeah. I wore lots of neon T-shirts. We had color changing T-shirts. We had really wild stuff. The girls wore jeans. You had to lay down to put on. They're so skin tight. Layers upon layers are popular. Layers upon popular, right? Madonna started.
What years are we talking about right now?
80s, around the 80s.
80s. Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, go Back to the Future, right? I mean, he was wearing a T-shirt on top of a
rolled jeans,
on top of a life jacket.
Jacket.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd be so warm and hot.
It would be warm. Yeah. Not in Canada, but yeah.
It's hot here right now, trust me.
Madonna,
not you're hot, but my hot.
And celebrities would inspire fashion from even you can probably imagine the celebrity like Madonna inspired the the lace gloves and stuff like that. You want to look like your favorite celebrity, hairstyles and everything. So
yeah,
spiked hair. Oh, big pompadours.
One glove or two?
One glove, believe it or not. You used to sell them as like a novelty gimmick. The shiny gloves.
Wait, can we all do the Thriller?
Oh yeah. We can, but I don't want to. You know, like, oh my god, it was cool in the '80s,
I
dude.
could have hit my mic. Yeah.
I had that record.
I remember when they played the video on TV for the first time of that. It was on like national TV, and I remember them playing that.
It got a theatrical
Thriller?
release.
Yep.
Trivia question.
Oh,
I know you're gonna get it too. Give them a chance to answer.
I might not get it, so go ahead.
First video played on MTV.
I know.
for like video,
video.
music video.
And just for the record, we didn't have MTV because we didn't have cable, so all we had was airwaves.
We had much music in Canada, but I still know this answer.
Oh, somebody in the
yeah,
chat
much
got
music.
it.
Yeah, the
A
video.
man from the 80s himself. Huswin.
Mhm.
Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Here's another trivia trip about the MTV. Why was British New Wave popular in the 80s? The answer is because over in Britain, they were making music videos long before we were in the States. So when MTV went live, they did content. That's where all that videos came from. So that's why we got a lot of UK. Yeah, that's why we just accepted like as good tunes, right? But MTV did content, so a lot of the British New Wave stuff had videos. So that's what they play until they got cut up over here. Isn't that amazing?
That's
Oh,
where
wow,
the Spice Girls
that's-
came from.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that an MTV documentary about how they got started, and that was what kind of got them going, kind of thing.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because before then, what was anybody here listening to UK radio?
Oh, not only the cool hipster 80 kids.
They couldn't reach our side of the country, outside of the
You'd find that one strange, weird kid in the back corner who had these bootleg cassettes or something like that, or like something obscure.
Clash.
Yeah,
The Clash.
What
and all
about
that.
like the
Yeah.
Beatles and
Sex
stuff? Though
Pistols.
weren't they like
Sex Pistols.
they kind of made it across the pond, didn't they? Like
well, they went on world tour, right? They were like
uh,
marketing maniacs.
they were
like,
that big, I guess.
Yeah.
It was pre-
Yeah, they were pre MTV also.
Yeah,
True.
the 80s
True.
British New Wave bands. Don't forget, we're talking about one-hit wonders. You released a song in the UK, you made a video, it got played here or there, kind of thing, and you kind of stayed in your little bubble. Like we're used today now by this whole interconnected world that we have, right? You put something on YouTube, it's automatically worldwide. Back then, if you release something in Canada, good luck at seeing it going to the States or even overseas, so forth. It took time.
Yeah.
So, but the MTV did launch a lot of British bands, and they're very thankful for it. They've never forgotten that.
That's crazy. I never really thought about that, but yeah.
I saw a good MTV documentary that brought that up as really important. Like, hey, this is how we got started, kind of thing.
Very interesting.
How about food? How about some retro food?
Retro food.
Retro food. I've never really thought about food in a
come
retro
on.
sense.
I
retro.
think about food all the time. So, like I said, we go the obvious stuff. Like, obviously, if you think 80s, you got to think New Coke.
Oh, okay. Products.
Stuff like that.
Products. Not necessarily food. Steak is steak, right?
Hostess
have
fruit
retro
pies.
steak.
Hostess fruit pies, man. I love those. I love those heart attacks in a bun.
Yeah. Tabletop pies, right? They had the
Those Hostess fruit pies had enough sugar to kill a horse 10 times over, and I was eating them. Yeah. So, but the 80s.
What was the other thing? Okay, so Coke did New Coke. What?
Yep.
There was something that Crystal Pepsi.
Crystal Pepsi? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was clear, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Crystal. Yeah, the
Yeah.
clear Pepsi.
Then they did Pepsi Blue later on.
Pepsi Blue. You got it, buddy. Oh, I remember
Interesting to hear your retro stuff and then see if I've even heard of it. Like maybe they didn't have it in Canada.
Well,
Some of
Gutty's
the
in
stuff.
Canada too.
Right, but like I don't know.
that. You're right. You're right, Moose.
He's got 10 years on me, so maybe
Yeah.
he's heard of it. Maybe
You're right, Moose. I don't think it made it to
Please
Canada.
do your research, Moose.
Yeah.
Canada was smart. Is that what you said?
God.
Canada was smart.
You shouldn't work so damn much.
I don't think New
this
Coke
was a
made it to Canada.
jackhammer and research.
Yeah.
All right, okay, cool.
But New
Get out of
Coke
your van
lasted,
cave.
I think it lasted 6 to 8 weeks. It didn't last long, New Coke. I got some in the States. I actually tasted original Coke. It wasn't bad. There was a need for it, though.
They've
I
gone
barely
back to
remember
classic.
it, honestly. Like that's one that I know of. That I know of the story. I know it exists, but
Yep.
I don't really remember the phenomena.
Oh,
Of it.
I can tell you the story. Hey, Retrostorian.
Retro.
So it was a weird time in the 80s because what was happening was this is also when people were becoming health conscious and diet sodas are being introduced, right? So Coke was losing market share and they always want to be the number one soda, blah, blah, kind of whatever. Their main soda was losing market share. They got to do something. So instead of a new marketing campaign or a new kind of approach, whatever, you know what we're going to do? Let's inherently change the formula of Coke. That's what we're going to do. So they went out.
Change the formula.
Yeah, exactly. They went out, had focus groups and everything. Everything told them that new Coke was going to be a hit. Fantastic. They announced it, released it, and guess what? It wasn't a hit. But not for the taste.
Sad trombone.
You know why it wasn't a hit?
No, why?
Coke fans felt it was an assault on their childhood memories. You're taking away something I remember from my childhood. How dare you do this?
Don't take away my retro Coke.
Exactly. I can't remember exactly how long life it lasted. 8 to 10 weeks. It didn't last long.
Yeah, it was real quick.
People were buying out cases of normal Coke. They're pouring out new Coke and all that. The backlash was so bad they had to do a backpedal. They lost market share. You had new Coke and you had classic Coke side by side for a while, and then new Coke finally went away, and you just had Coke again, kind of thing. One of the greatest marketing blunders in history. I'll never forget that. But new Coke, like I said, host of fruit pies. I miss those suckers. What else from the 80s that were like products that we just don't see anymore?
I think you and I were talking about, and probably nobody will remember this, but Dr. Pepper did a similar total flop marketing thing back in but this one happened in the 50s, which isn't retro, but it still kind of connects to the same thing that Coke did.
Ultra retro.
Yeah, it's ultra retro. They had a diet drink they called Dietetic, and it flopped big time because everybody assumed that you had to be diabetic to drink it.
Yep.
And so it didn't, it just sat on the shelf. Nobody bought it. And so it flopped big time, and they eventually changed it to Diet Dr. Pepper.
Exactly. And if another good thing to watch Stranger Things is you'll see a lot of missing products we don't have anymore, like those pudding cups in the steel can. They're gone. Glass bottles for Coke and stuff like that. I'm trying to remember stuff I used to eat. Well, breakfast cereals. I used to be a monster in the sugar cereals, right? So all those, Count Chocolate, Frankenberry, Blueberry.
They're all still around, though.
Not in Canada.
Really?
No, they're not here.
Cookie Crunch. Miss that. Stuff like that.
We have that. Well, U.S. is the best in the world. So.
But the other thing, too, though. The other thing, too, though, is
that's why you guys are down below. So.
Yeah. Is that the reason?
Oh, I see.
You guys just picked up on that?
I just thought it was like roll of the dice kind of.
Do we start the USA chant now, or
proof is in the cereal, my friend?
All I gotta say is my shoulders are sore. I'm carrying you Americans here. But
did you pay that last time you went to the hospital there? Gutty?
I don't.
Neither did I. No.
I walked in. I got my. Here you go. Come back in 6 months. You want another one? No problem.
Yeah.
But
you guys gonna have
then
the
you have
top.
taxes too.
But here's something kind of weird we take for granted. A lot of the food's changed since the 80s. The sodas actually had cane sugar in it. Now they have high fructose corn syrup. So, and if you take a lot of the cereals, they don't taste the same because a lot of stuff is missing from it.
Count Chocula is not the same. Now there's tricks. They switch from the little fruit shapes to the circles.
It just the be more health conscious has changed.
So Dr. Pepper originated here in Texas. So we have an old Dr. Pepper museum in Dublin, Texas, that for the longest time still produced the sugarcane version of Dr. Pepper.
The only place in the States that still produced it.
Yep. Yeah. After a while, it was the only place, and that in there's a lot of debate there on which one, if it was the plant in Waco versus the plant in Dublin. Waco, not Wakko, by the way, just so you know the difference. Yeah. So, but yeah, Dr. Pepper, they still have here in Texas. It's pretty easy to find the sugarcane version.
Cane sugar, and it hits differently. I'll tell you guys, it hits way differently. I got a little.
Do you guys?
So much
you
more
guys-
addictive.
You guys know Arby's?
We still
Yeah.
have Arby's.
Yeah, I
love
had
Arby's.
Arby's
Yeah.
for lunch today, actually.
Surprisingly, we still have Arby's. I don't know.
That
Yeah,
that
we don't have any up
the
here.
first Arby's is in where I Youngstown where I go.
Oh, nice. You know what I miss?
The Arby's closed up in New Hampshire, so
Yeah, I got one. We got a few up here. I miss Ponderosa.
Oh fuck!
I told you I miss Ponderosa, man. That was my go-to.
God! I was talking about Ponderosa today at work.
I got.
I had a Bonanza.
I remember Bonanza.
Yeah. Ponderosa's a W.
I got another filler from the '80s for you guys, like New
Yep.
Coke. I don't know if you guys remember a thing called "Where's Herb" by Burger King.
I heard of where's
Burger
Waldo.
King?
Yeah.
You
So Burger King, in an interest to get more people interested in this restaurant, because again it was losing market share, say, hey guys, what can we do? And the marketing guy goes, here's an idea. We'll have this mysterious character named Herb, who's never had a Whopper.
Yes,
And we'll have this
Mikey.
contest. If people find him, they win like $5,000, whatever kind of thing. And if they find him, basically we'll have a grand prize of 30 grand or whatever, right? That's brilliant. Let's do it. They fire it up. And they start doing it, advertising that Herb has never been to Burger King, blah, blah. If you find him, you can win cash in person. One problem. They never told you what Herb looked like for months.
Yes, Quinky.
By the
Pizza Hut
time-
days.
By the time they
man.
actually showed it, no one cared. Wendy's actually took pot shots at them.
Yes,
said,
Pizza
like,
Hut days.
They said, like, Herb's not at Burger King. He's having eating our burgers. And in the end, it went really south because some minor did find him, and Burger King would not give him the prize. He was underage. Had a huge fight and all that. In the end,
Oh,
it sunk
geez.
Burger King. So if you look up Where's Herb, yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, Gwen, you sit down Pizza Huts, buffets, and stuff like that. But yeah, like I remember that's the stuff I remember, guys. Just really stupid stuff.
Bro, I remember going to those Pizza Huts and you'd sit down at the 2-person arcade and play the
Yeah,
tabletop.
dude, they had
Pac-Man.
arcades. You had the book it things. So you got free pizzas.
Bro, yes.
The
Yes.
buffets.
They had jukeboxes,
The fucking
right?
jukeboxes, like the stained glass over the salad bar. The salad
Hey.
bar was phenomenal.
Yep.
Juke boxes or juke boxes?
Juke.
Juke.
Depends
Well-
what part of the country you're from.
Well, yeah. Well, you guys almost missed McDonald's Playlands.
Oh,
is
I
that?
remember those. I
McDonald's
remember those.
Playlands, like the real Playlands, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the fry
ball
seats,
pits
the
and
fry
everything.
guy
The
seats,
fry
and the
seats,
little hamburger.
Mayor McCheese. We had a kill up in his head. It was all steel outside, so you burn your hands and all that. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
That
Oh
was
yeah, I don't.
torture.
Like that. We had like the ball pits and tunnels and slides and
See, different generation. Like ball pits were that's that generation as the ball pits.
I tell you what, though, as much of a bad rep as Burger King gets, I still like Burger King better than McDonald's. And I'll tell you why. To me, it all goes back to being a kid and being able to wear that crown, baby.
Still wear the crown. I ask for when I go.
Bro,
They
Come
still
on.
give them out.
how
They
is
do.
that not? I mean, Burger King made you a king. What did McDonald's do to you?
Give you high cholesterol.
I grew up with like them having Nintendo 64s in the little
I remember
TVs.
those little
Dude,
game
that's
centers.
such a different generation. Wow.
That's not my McDonald's.
I'd be sitting there eating my McDonald's, watching my kids play the 60 the Super.
They had the toys on display, or they
Yeah.
would have like the Disney glasses on display, or snow globes and shit that you could buy.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, man.
Well, that also
The,
reminds
the
me.
pumpkin
Yeah.
buckets that you got Happy Meals in.
Oh yeah, that's right for trick or treating. Yeah.
Yeah, man, those are
Yeah.
those were good
bomb.
times.
Well, I miss McDonald's and cookies. I
Yes.
miss those
Oh,
so
yeah.
much, man.
Oh
those
my
are good.
gosh, yes.
Yeah.
But that doesn't strike like retro nostalgia like what does, right?
How
Yeah,
bad
the-
must have those cookies been if they don't? If McDonald's doesn't sell them anymore.
I tell you what, who wouldn't love to stumble on a box full of old unopened toys from McDonald's in
Oh,
the
man.
early 80s?
That'd be awesome.
I remember
You'd
the
have a fortune
salad
in just a little
shakers.
box.
Didn't they have a Danish, like an apple Danish with the real frosting on top of it?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't remember
Had
that.
lots
They
of
still
weird
got their
products.
apple pies and stuff. Though.
yeah. I like
Do
the
you think
salad
they're-
shakers.
Do you think their ice cream machines actually worked back in the 80s?
No, they don't work now.
They still don't work.
Bucket of fries.
That's what I'm saying.
Super
Chris.
size.
really
Remember you
not.
put
Oh,
They've
everything-
sorry,
never
the
worked.
McFlurries aren't. They're not working
get a
today.
shake. Sorry, our
It's too
machine is
hot
down.
outside.
I tell you, like the supersize your fries, like all those 80s catch fries is like, who remembers the Big Mac song?
No.
To all beef pie, special
Yeah.
sausage.
Oh
beef,
yes.
Oh, yeah,
potatoes,
yeah.
onions,
Okay,
and
yeah.
just like I
I
said,
don't remember it, but I remember it. You know
it
what I mean?
haunts me. It haunts me to this day. I hear it so much.
Okay,
Keep
now
your
you
eyes
just
on your
wait for the
fries.
song. Thanks.
Or
Now I don't even like the Big Mac, so
Mac tonight. I don't like Big Macs either, but
You guys
some of those
remember the?
80s fast food jingles just stick in my head so bad.
Oh,
I do.
they're
I like Big Macs.
they're like earwigs. They're just in there.
Well, they're designed to, right?
Hey, look, about 4/5 of us have been to McDonald's before they got sued for hot coffee. So.
Yeah.
oh,
I got another one for you guys. Where's the beef?
yeah,
that's what I
Arby's.
said earlier.
Yeah.
Wendy's,
The
right?
3 old
Yeah.
ladies with the symbol on
Yeah.
over their
We
head.
can say that to anyone under 30, they wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
But that was like, the catchphrase back in the 80s. Oh my God. Where's the beef? Oh my
She's
God.
at the drive-through. Where's the beef?
I just couldn't believe it. Just where's the beef? And it was like everywhere, like on t-shirts. She's at WrestleMania, like, where's the beef? Oh my God.
Yeah.
beefcake.
Yeah. Some of those, slogans were like actually too powerful. Like we still like it haunts us today, you know?
Well, Nike, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Yep. What was Burger King? Have it your way? Can't remember.
Yes, they
Yeah.
still have it your way.
Yeah.
right?
Have it your
Have
way.
it your way.
Yeah,
Flame
there's like
broiled.
2 million versions of your way that you can have with all the Whoppers or something like
And
that.
flame broiled.
Flame
that's
broiled,
their-
yeah.
that's their catch, right? They're
But it's these earworms. Like I said, when I open up my stream, I play all these old 80s commercials.
they're great.
Just because again, it's all that boosted serotonin and like it brings you right back kind of thing.
All right. GoBots, Transformers. Which one you got?
I had both.
What's a GoBot?
Oh, what?
Moose.
Honestly,
GoBots
Yeah.
are Canadian.
It's the Canadian Transformer.
I think
oh,
they're.
well,
the
that's why I
Canadian.
haven't heard of it.
I think they're Canadian.
So the CBZ.
They're made by
They're all made in
Tonka.
Taiwan.
Well, they felt like they're Canadian, but not necessarily. So, I'm a Transformers guy. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I had them
But
both, but I like Transformers better.
They were Transformers were more complex. GoBots were like
It's like 2 moves and you're done.
they were made by Tonka. So it basically
might-
I guess,
This might
Pokemon
actually be
was
90s, but
shit.
what about Micro Machines? Y'all remember Micro
I
Machines?
love
yeah.
Micro Machines.
Yeah,
Yep.
The
Wow.
guy who did the commercial. Micro Machines were good.
That might have been
Oh.
early 90s.
the guy
though,
with
I
the
think.
must,
Yeah, I think it
the
was
guy with the
early 90s.
mustache.
It was really
Like-
nice. But we're talking
You have the
toys.
penny racers. You put a penny in the back of the car and you pull it back and let it run.
Well, we can rattle off lots of toys like G.I. Joe.
Yeah, G.I. Joe. That's
Who didn't like getting the figure with the little file card in the back? Mask. Those little figures of the mask that you always
Mask
lost.
was cool. I liked Mask. I thought that was cool.
To this day, the same thing is the shows are made to sell the toys because you weren't allowed to do toy commercials. So,
yeah,
like I said, that Jason the Wheeled Warriors. I don't remembers that one.
I don't remember that one.
Trust me, it's still toys. I'm trying to think from the 90s what would sell toys basically because Transformers has huge legs, right?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Turtles. I was gonna say turtles basically.
Yep,
So the
easy.
toys.
I was big on the turtles.
All
Now,
day.
here's what I don't know about
Beanie
GoBots.
Babies.
Beanie
83
Babies.
to
Yeah.
87. That's
what?
why I don't know about GoBots. 83 to 87.
Oh,
I was
okay,
I was
okay.
born in 83, so
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
GoBots.
Ninja Turtles it is for me. Ninja Turtles enough.
Cabbage Patch Kids. Furbies.
Cabbage Patch Kids. The Cabbage Patch Riots of 1983.
Riots. Oh.
Yeah, like you can go on YouTube, look it up. There's a Channel 7 archive, and it opens up with basically a store manager holding a bat and his assistant saying, "You guys settle down right now. I'm going to crack skulls," because people were stampeding people to get these damn dolls.
Give me that
For-
tickle me Elmo.
It's called the Cabbage Patch Riots of '83. That's the true story. It was just
That's
it was
crazy.
Yep. These
Ooh.
toys are so hot they're flying off the shelf.
How about the trading card version of Cabbage Patch Dolls? Garbage Pail Kids.
Garbage Pail
Oh.
Kids.
I have heard of those. Yeah.
That's
popular,
good stuff.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because a lot of them are worth a lot of money if you have them.
I'll do you one better. Who remembers Wacky Packs? These were stickers you got where they had products, but they were twisted. So you had like a chock full of nuts, chock full of boats. It was like really kind of like, Head and Boulders, all these really weird parodies of products you had. If you saw them, you'd remember them. So that's what I remember mine basically. They're like sticker packs, they're like Wacky Packs. Look them up. And
sounds like Garbage Pail Kids, because that was kind of they would have all those weird twisted names. Yep.
Weird twisted names for products basically, and they're worth a lot of money now too, because of course some of the products were offended. They said don't do that, so they had to take some of the circulation, of course, right?
Oh, I wasn't allowed to have Garbage Pail Kids.
No one was.
Yeah, when I got older, I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons.
Schools weren't allowed to have Garbage Pail Kids at school. There's no way you're gonna have those stickers at school.
Yeah,
they were like forbidden contraband. Here's some trades and cards.
Contraband. They basically were treated like that.
I was 7 when Pokemon came out, so I grew up with that being a huge part.
I miss Pokemon, but that's a huge pop culture retro phenomenon. It's kind of hard to call it retro because it's still going, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about the original,
the classic,
the classic.
Catch them exactly. It's kind of hard though, right? Because some retro, like we consider Star Wars retro, but it's still going, right? So I guess you got to take that slice and saying, "This is why it's retro to me," kind of thing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, that part of retro goes back into your like number 2 definition, where it's more about your teenage feelings, those like serotonin, like that. Just
that's that purity member of all the good stuff, and that's why it brings you back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So food, movies, music, toys.
Smells.
Smells.
Certain smells take me back.
Scratch and stiff Snickers.
There you go. So my kids
markers.
My kids have the smelly markers, the stickers, and they
wax the crayon.
Smell, but they had like the slap bracelets.
Slap bracelets.
Like came back. Yeah.
That is funny though, because it really is crazy how the human brain works. That you can encounter a smell of something that you haven't smelled in a decade, and it's like it just boom, zaps you right back.
Well, here's the chemical they used to clean all this the tables at school, and you had to put your head down, and we're like,
I was gonna say,
or how about square pizza?
Square pizza.
Oh, you remember McDonald's pizza?
100%.
No.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
No, come on, you guys. You never had McDonald's pizza?
No.
Nope.
Who's the better country now?
Well, we had a lot. We had it up here basically. You had either cheese or pepperoni, and you sometimes had family size, which was really rare. It wasn't bad. It was like basically Pizza Hut. But they stopped doing it because it took a friggin' long time to make the little pizza.
Yeah.
And the equipment took up a lot of the kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah.
My buddy used to make them. He hated it.
Yeah, I
honestly
say
ice cream cake.
No, man. McDonald's ice cream cake.
McDonald's.
Back in the day, they had a lot more. No.
When you had a birthday party.
Dairy Queen, I'm thinking of.
Dairy Queen is always, they've always.
No, I'm talking about McDonald's had a birthday cake.
Yeah, they gave you an ice cream cake at McDonald's. Well, McDonald's birthday party.
Remember that?
Yeah. They had like a room.
I don't remember.
And
the classic Chuck E. Cheese, huh? Back when it was cool.
Bro, the animatronics and like.
Hell yeah.
I just took my granddaughter to a Chuck E. Cheese, and my wife and I were like looking around like,
it's lame, dude.
Where's the animals? Like,
my kids think it's great. I'm like, dude, you don't fucking know.
Yeah, you got no idea. The stage they had with those scary ass. I mean, the eyes were popping out. And like,
they're
you could
ripping
see
out
the metallic parts in between the seams and shit. It's a nightmare, but it was awesome.
We go in without any parents too. Back when I was a kid, we'd go in all the time without our parents.
Oh, now they stamp you, stamp your kid.
Right
you can't get out. But the Chuck E. Cheeses that survive are actually going to just a video wall now. But I was lucky. In Toronto, we had a massive Chuck E. Cheese. So they had a main dining room, a large arcade, and 3 smaller dining rooms with their own little individual animatronic. And they were creepy. They were creepy as all heck. You know,
Oh hell yeah, they're creepy, but
Yeah,
man.
real.
that place is like a kid's casino, and it's awesome.
Oh yeah, again, and that Chuck E. Cheese smell. You smell the pizza? That's Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Yep, that's Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh
You
man.
go home and you're like, why did I eat that?
I wonder, I unfortunately I never had a job as a mascot in the 80s. That must really suck, but
Oh,
I can only imagine, right? Because kids would just hang off you.
That's basically what they have now. Instead, they have the big giant screen where they play movies and
Yeah.
basically Chuck E. Cheese commercials, and then like they have an event like once every half hour where a guy in a costume walks around like, "Hey kids, look at me," you know.
And he throws tickets for the kids to scramble,
Yeah. But it's like it's nothing compared to the cool animatronics and stuff
no.
that we got to see when we were kids. But
Yeah,
Exactly.
Blockbuster was awesome.
Blockbuster's a huge retro memory. There's
yeah,
no question about that.
does anybody still have their card?
No.
I might have mine.
I
lingering.
wish I still had my card, but
I
sadly,
don't think so. I think I threw it out.
you
I
don't
had
think
one
of
for
that
a
at
long
the
time,
time, you
but-
know.
that I remember that being a routine when I was a kid, though, like going to Blockbuster and like
Right.
everybody kind of splitting up, running down through the aisles, looking at the new releases, looking at movies that you just haven't seen yet, but you really want to, and it's like, and then everybody coming back together. Well, I want to see this one, and he wants to see, it's like, and you're bartering because and then you go home and stick it in a VHS.
Well,
on
don't
the
forget.
on the one TV that you had.
One TV,
One.
one VHS.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everybody, you had to debate. You had to win the war to get to watch your movie.
And
You
that's
know?
also how we got all those video games, right? We didn't go out and buy these things. We rent these suckers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, renting games. That's right.
Or
And
we
it
bought them
was-
pre-owned once Funko
Oh,
Land
yeah.
came out,
Yeah.
which
Or
is now
else,
GameStop. Or what's the one? There's Funko Land and is it? What's the other one? There's another. They had different. There were different game stores that all consolidated eventually.
We used to have
become
here we had
GameStop.
EB Games. And
EB
GameStop.
Games.
Yeah,
That's the
EB
one I was
Games,
looking
yeah.
for. Yeah.
They consolidated,
Oh, it's the
yeah.
same then. Okay.
Yeah.
I
EB
wanna-
Games. Down here we had Funko Land.
Funko Land, we didn't have it up in Canada.
I've never heard that either.
But remember in Blockbuster when you went in and you found that movie or game, it was like just hitting like crack, right? Like, yeah, I got it. I got that copy off the shelf. That was
Yeah,
like,
because
what?
they only had
Oh,
limited
it's out.
copies. So if it was something hot, you had to. Sometimes you go and check and see if they had the stack that they just pulled out
yep.
of the drop box.
You
And
just
you're
be
like,
waiting like
oh,
that.
oh,
Like,
do you have it? Do you
Is it
have
in there?
Do-
Is it in
do you-
there?
Do you have it? Do you have it?
I remember finding that one thing you wanted. You
'Cause-
saw it on the shelf. It's just like an instant hit. Like, oh yeah.
They had
That's-
the cover, right? They had the cover on top of a different box, so that if the box wasn't there underneath of the cover, then they don't have it.
You kind of just grow like, oh. And that's how you picked your movies, right? We actually picked up the back of the case and looked at the back, like, okay,
Yeah. Oh,
this sounds pretty good, I
about?
guess. Yeah,
Who
Uh-oh,
was
we
the
lost Abs.
descriptive writer this time, right?
Exactly.
They had more movies in the back too. They just had curtain in the way. I don't.
My buddy Switz there used to manage the largest video store in Canada, 14,000 square feet, closed up 2 years ago. And they had
Oh, wow.
everything. Yeah, you want to talk about nostalgia? Walk in there, rows of DVDs, popcorn pop in, the saloon doors in the back for Moose's section,
Well, and that's so
There's this
funny because
section.
that's I'm starting to see stores pop up now that are like retro arcades, retro video. They sell and they have like it's all combined into one. They have retro games. They have NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis, like all the old stuff that they have for sale. And it's like, and then they have arcade games in a room that you can go back and play, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and NBA Jam,
retro.
Pac-Man, and oh man, it's so cool that stuff is popping up. So you can go back, you can actually go relive all that stuff.
I'm
Right
even
now.
seeing small video rental stores pop up as a novelty that people are running as a hobbies now. So
Yeah.
Where are
yeah,
you going to play
exactly.
those though? If you
Well, if you still have the systems.
I don't. And not even like the PS5 is like those don't have a place for a disc or anything, right?
Well, there's two PS5s. One has a disc, but it's only backwards compatible to the PS4. So
I got a DVD player because I'm old.
But
so.
still, if it had
I have a
if-
DVD player. I have a VHS player.
I've got a PS2. I got a VHS player here too.
I have a Sega Genesis, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 2, Xbox 360.
I have my 8-bit Nintendo still.
I have an Atari 2600.
Do
I
you
know
guys
it-
remember the Sega channel? There's a something. Was it? I'm not sure if that's what it was called, but you could subscribe to a service and games that you could actually play. Like
Vaguely, but yeah.
it was almost like Netflix for games. Only this was like.
Yeah, there was one.
Quite a while ago.
I totally missed that comment.
My buddy had it, and I was just like, "Holy crap!"
Rewind. They used to sell home rewind machines that would just rewind at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. They used to sell them at Radio Shack.
Yeah, I know.
Radio
I worked there.
Shack, yes.
I worked there.
Some were shaped like race cars and stuff like that. I got an NES story.
Yes,
for you.
shopping malls is a good one. I remember the Disney store in
Ooh.
shopping malls.
Shopping
Still
malls,
at
that's a
Disney
really good
stores.
point. Shopping malls were like the social hub of the 80s.
Oh, shopping malls
And
were
90s.
awesome.
No cell phones. You got to go
No.
mingle.
Well, actually, I wrote a post on Twitter a while back about an 80s day out. You like on Friday, basically at school, you kind of make plans for Saturday. We'll meet here, kind of thing. You go to the mall, you coordinate,
Yeah.
and then you kind of, the mall would be basically shopping, eating, movies, everything. It's all there. Oh yeah,
The malls around here suck.
malls around here are dying now. They're mostly empty stores or government
Yeah.
offices. It's, like I said, they're no longer social hubs for the kids.
No.
We got certain ones that are dying and others that are flourishing. It's kind of like it's kind of a mix around here.
Yeah.
We got so many malls. I mean, I'm in a huge metroplex, so
Well,
Our mall is it's downsized, but they've opened up like artificial fields like for soccer, tennis, and
That's a good idea.
they have a brewing company now. So they've
That's
kind
a
of
really good
transformed it to like half of it's shopping. Now the other half is like entertainment.
I mean, and this is obviously not a retro subject, but COVID killed a lot of things. And,
It did.
It changed a lot of how we live, and so another 10 years from now, 15 years from now, we'll be looking at the like just right before COVID as being like a lot of people's retro, because like it really altered the entire way that everybody lives. And even if it was just for a short time, and then you kind of gravitated towards back how you live, it's not the same. It's still not the same. And so there's going to be a lot of people that, their retro period butts right up against the COVID pandemic.
Retro masks.
Yeah. Like, Grandpa, why you got all these masks in this drawer? Well, let me tell you what happened back in the
Let me tell
you.
It's funny.
That's a good point about these multi-use spaces at malls. So I'm just thinking about the evolution, right? So when malls started out, they were called plazas. They're basically two lines of stores, open up, people walk between, right? Then they became covered for malls. And then the 90s went back to the whole plaza, the strip, the strip malls, you drive up the big box stores. We're back to that again. And then we progressed to, people call outlets. Again, big rows of stores that are half covered with multi-use spaces. So it's just fun to watch this whole, progress back and forth of, what as you said, Wakko, everything goes so far out is back.
What goes around comes around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now you almost have like a combination of that, because you got these big giant malls and then you have these strip centers built around them. That's how it is for us here.
Yeah.
I mean, and every 5 to 10 years, it like completely changes. Like if you go, like certain stores are real popular for a blink and then they disappear, and then something else pops up in its place for a blink and then disappears. And then you got your long-standing stores that have been there forever.
Well, as you made a good point, Wakko, way people live change, right? So malls are great because they're open, 9 to 9. You go in, all that, and it worked then. But when people start working weird hours or stuff like that, the 9 didn't work. So having these strip malls where you can actually go to a store at a certain time, be open later and stuff like that, and they can control their own, hours, made more sense to suit people's lifestyles as things changed.
Well, and online shopping was already booming. So that was like almost a nail in the coffin for a ton of retailers.
100%. If you couldn't adapt, you were done.
Yeah.
Well, look at Amazon now. Like that's the way it is. Like the malls
King
are
of the
dying,
world.
and there's more and more Amazon vans driving around.
Well, also too, if you don't offer store pickup or curbside pickup, I don't think you're in the game anymore. I never would have thought of that would be a thing. But I tell you what, back in the 70s and 80s, up here at a grocery store called A&P, they offered you would put your groceries in the bin, get a number, you'd get to your car, and you'd drive around, and your groceries would be waiting for you to get picked up outside. They load up the groceries for you. I remember that vividly. Yes.
I remember when
Everybody probably
Amazon
thought they
was
were
just a
crazy.
bookstore.
Amazon.
What? Yeah.
Was a bookstore, yeah.
Bookstore.
Amazon was a bookstore.
That's dumb.
They made
who's,
Kindles.
Who's going to buy books online?
They made
LG
Kindles,
only made
yeah.
TVs.
I got my daughter a Kindle one time. She was really into books, and it was like that was a really great thing to do. And yeah, I totally forgot that's really where Amazon came from.
Yeah, bookstore.
Crazy.
Excuse me. So, did any of you guys really read a lot during a retro period back in the 80s? Like, I was an avid reader in the 80s. And
Choose your own adventure.
Yeah, choose your own adventure.
Hardy Boys.
Hardy Boys.
Yeah, mostly comic books. I couldn't
What's the
read
one?
novels.
The Boxcar Children.
Yeah. Remember that one?
Junie B. Jones.
What about Magic Treehouse there, Dabs?
Magic Treehouse.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
Captain Underpants.
Yeah.
I bought my kids that book.
like for us, basically, movies are popular, but we're also, a lot of my friends are big book, like fantasy book geeks. So like the Dragonlance Chronicles and stuff like that. It was like, hey, did you get the latest novel yet? And all that. You like, instead like, hey, did you get the latest game from Steam? It's like, did you get the latest novel? Like that was our biggest event. Goosebumps. That was our
yeah. Okay, yeah, I did read some of those actually.
Goosebumps is very retro and still relevant.
Yeah.
Like I said, even books can have some kind of retro feeling to them.
I'm telling you, I really love Choose Your Own Adventure. That was like such such an amazing concept to get to decide which way the which way the book went. Man, that was genius. And you could read it again and just make different choices, and it was a new book.
I have quite a few memories of those. There's Choose Your Own Adventure. D&D came out with something called Endless Quest, about 30 or 40 books of various properties. Some were Dungeons and Dragons. Some were like Top Secret, Star Frontiers, and other role-playing properties. Steve Jackson Games had like a Death Trap Dungeon and a whole bunch of... You actually make a character with health and all that and go through the book, Choose Your Own Adventure, trying to survive and fight. What was the other one, too, that kind of sticks out? Oh, one you guys never even heard of that of course, I remember. It was called Be an Interplanetary Spy.
Oh, I remember that. What are you
remember
talking
that? I would love to have those back again. I think it was about 10 or 12 books. You were a spy sent on a mission, and when you had to turn to a certain page, you had to figure out a puzzle first. And if you think this is the answer, go here. If this answer, go here. And of course, you're wrong. You died. Those books I thought were novel at the time, and I miss having them. But like I said, Choose Your Own Adventure, they were very much a time period of like 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Here's one. Do you guys remember Invisible Ink books?
No.
Oh man, I used to be addicted to these things. So they were small books. They're about the size of an envelope, and they were like I had like baseball, football, trivia, and all that. And you could play by yourself against basically an AI built into it. You're trying the high score. They had larger books for the trivia and lineup and stuff like that. You had this pen that would actually uncover them. And I thought it was so cool as a kid. I could actually entertain myself. And I was like, oh, this is awesome, all that. And of course, I was lucky if they're still around when my kids are little. That would be their treat when we travel to Florida. I'd get them all Invisible Ink books to play with and all that.
And Mad Libs?
Mad Libs? Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
I
Still do Mad
remember
Libs.
those.
I'm telling you, man, like I said, retro is what you make it. And like I said, if it's from your childhood or teenage years and gives that little serotonin boost, it's probably retro. Trust me.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, that was kind of the main question of the day was what really qualifies as retro, and I think
I said, yeah,
I think you hit the nail on the head. It's definitely that part of it, at least, is that boost of like the emotions of those adolescent years, like that. It makes so much sense.
Like for me, it's 80s. Yeah, it was probably the 90s, and we say it instinctively, oh, that's so retro. Like it's harder to find, but we know exactly when I say it's retro. We know exactly what we're talking about. Whenever it comes out, my kids even say, oh, that's so retro. So it's I don't know. It's just such a weird term to use, but when I say it, everybody seems to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
Better than throwback. Throwback,
Yeah. That's only on Thursdays.
Yes.
Social media taught me that. Well, guys, I think we've talked retro to death. I know we could probably go on for another hour or so, but we are an hour and 15 into a show that normally only lasts an hour. So
you should spin me up, dude. You just said move on.
No, we're good. We're good.
I'm fine.
Yeah,
no rush here.
Absolutely. Retro's better than that throwback. That's right. Let's Go Buddy is a good throwback guy too. He loves the G.I. Joe, the Transformers, that era, and he incorporates a lot of that into his stream too. This is a great show for Let's Go Buddy to be in, but let's switch gears. We got some memes. I think you want to do memes first? I think we got memes.
Sure.
Yeah, always memes.
Lay it on us. I made a meme last week. I don't know if you saw it. Did you see it, Wakko, the one I made about the graphic designer?
Oh, I don't think so. But I might have. I don't know.
It's like a guy looks all excited when you get a follow on Twitter, and then he's all disappointed, and it's a graphic designer.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh,
That's all the DMs I get are graphic designers, promoters, or
I get a follow. I'm like,
scams.
hey, like, oh, GFX. Oh, okay, well.
Let's get to the meme of the week.
I think we need a little jingle.
I know.
A jingle?
I didn't have time to mess with it.
Needed meme jingle.
Look,
I got a cover page, okay?
That's good. No, that's
back off.
Fantastic.
What have you done?
Jackhammered a lot.
You just say like do. Here's a meme for you and me.
Oh. See, there we go.
There you go.
Somebody clip it.
Yeah, we'll just.
Oh my god.
We'll be in touch. Yeah.
I think there's a few of these memes going around.
Oh yeah, he froze and it was just perfect.
When you fart and it comes with a side of gravy.
When you come in at 3 a.m., your wife asks where you were.
Yeah. We got dude behind him though.
Like,
yes.
Yeah. No.
Like,
that
he's not gonna make it.
That was more than a fart. Yeah.
No more questions.
Sorry, we're done. Dabs, what's this? That's just your meme, wasn't it? Or no, that might have been GP Aquino. I don't know. I get you all mixed up.
Jackson.
Oh, they come at the bottom.
That's a good one.
That one was mine.
That one was good. Yeah. It does look like it, Michael Jackson, though. It's like insane.
That's crazy.
It's the nose.
That comment's just
the nose.
Or the lack of.
Yeah.
Eyebrows too, yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one for sure.
Good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a retro meme
right
here.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, good.
I had all those. I had the club,
Yeah.
I had the sun shield, I had the removable face on the stereo. I was so hot.
You got to, because people.
Every single one of those was my first car.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Those.
Every single one.
Everyone.
I had 82 Cutlass. I still had a club for it.
We didn't have the club. We didn't have the club because we weren't in a high crime rate area.
Oh.
See, the truck I had been broken into, So the where the key goes was torn out, so I had to start with a screwdriver underneath.
That's a meme in itself.
See now, look
Yeah.
at that bottom left
no
picture.
heat. So no heat was fine to have blankets in my car for winter. And I had if the doors were
blankets.
locked, I had to climb in through the back window to get in.
See, we could have made a whole another segment about retro cars, which we did last season.
Oh, man.
I'll tag it in the comments.
We all remember our first cars, trust me.
we had a good
window,
episode
roll
in
down the window.
season 1 where we talked about all our original cars and stuff.
Oh my
That
gosh.
was a good one.
Oh no.
Another good retro meme here.
I have the power. Shaver. Hey, body hair was in the 80s.
I mean, yeah, apparently it was really in.
Oh, hopefully not ingrown.
Must be wearing a wig then. I don't know what that's about.
Whose fault was it?
She just missed the kick, okay? It's not that serious.
Dude, I've always said that.
This one hits pretty hard.
Yeah,
Roll ahead
bro.
of life for 20 seconds. Yeah.
Oh, this was mine.
This hits the hits the cannabis fans a little too hard too.
I was trying to escape this. Oh,
you guys wonder sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I'll be on in 5 minutes, and it's like 30 minutes later. Yeah, I thought about something too hard while I was out in the garage.
Yeah. I need a moment.
I'll get the link in there at 8:45. Yep, 7:45.
That's why I don't go to the garage before the stream anymore. Well, at least the podcast.
Oh,
This is almost retro in itself too, because how often like once online gaming became a thing,
it's awful. Yeah.
How often did people say, "Well, just pause it"? I can't pause it. I'm online. I'm dying right now. Stop talking to me.
Yeah.
Like just the other day. Oh, I'm almost done with my dungeon. Half an hour later. Oops.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't. There's no pause.
Nobody attack me. I have to go for a second.
On your honor, please don't attack.
Yeah. Please don't. Please don't.
Fantastic.
Was that all?
I think this is a weekly thing. She attacks me.
It's never one weed. No, it's a whole garden full of them, right?
Every week she attacks me. Hey, I can't figure out how to get this thing off my screen.
Maybe that means you're retro.
Yeah.
You want me to come over and help you set your VCR?
Browser history?
Is your VCR clock flashing 12? Let me help you set that.
Somebody give me a pencil. I need to rewind it.
You want me to tell the time of the analog clock? My kids don't.
You guys have 24-hour clocks there, though, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, we just measure something called meters, not minutes. That's all.
Yeah, we're only 12 hours in Canada.
We're not getting into that metric versus standard thing because
you're gonna lose.
No, I think it's stupid too.
It is. It is.
It is stupid. Why do we have different measurements? I don't understand. Why do we have different measurements than the rest of the world?
All I know is yeah. Go ahead, Moose.
Everybody just needs to get on the same page. It just doesn't matter which one you use. Just pick one, and
it's not even that much different. You know, like
it's not math wise.
2 sets of fucking tools.
Math wise, metric is way easier. Way easier. Who likes fractions? Nobody likes fractions.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Oh, there goes Debs.
What's
we didn't offend him because he's Canadian too.
What's half of a kilometer?
500 meters.
500 meters. Doesn't that make sense?
What's half of a mile? Fuck if I know.
It's half a mile. It's a
I
half a
know.
mile.
Half a mile. yeah.
I live my life a quarter mile. at a
How many
time.
yards is that, right?
You
Is
live
it
your
half
life
mile,
like
half full,
a
half
kilometer at a time.
But I still say go get it. I still say go get a quart of milk.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Lobster for the win.
So okay, so these guys were asking me about bagged milk.
Tell you exactly why.
Like, and I looked last time I went. We don't have bagged milk anymore.
We have bagged milk in Ontario still. It's an old regulation holdover that milk above a certain volume could not be sold in a carton. So you want it basically to sell, I think it was 4 liters of milk. That had to be in bags.
Oh.
That's why we have
In
bagged
our
milk.
restaurants, we had bags of milk
Yep.
too that you'd put in the cooler.
Yeah.
4 liters.
Wait,
Anything above 2
Bowler, you
liters
had
has to
bagged
be in a
milk
bag.
too?
Yeah, in restaurants, you'd have a milk dispenser, and you'd put the bag of milk in, cut off the end, and slide it down.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's a little.
Yeah, in
different.
restaurants, I
pretty good,
understand that.
Anything
I
over
didn't personally have it. No,
But 4
anything over
drink
2
milk.
liters
milk's
In
not good
Canada?
for you.
in certain areas has to be in bags. If you want to sell it, like if you want to sell let's say you want to sell 4 liters of milk, like 4 bags, 1 liter each, it has to be in a unit, it has to be in bags. Now it's like 3 bags, but yeah, it's
And it's right next to the poutine.
yeah.
So anyway.
I think I think that's not a regulation anymore, but we still do it because people are used to having bagged milk. It's weird, but
You got boxed wine.
I should actually bring a bag of milk.
It comes
And a
with a big
big milk-
straw, right?
Actually, your box of wine is in a bag, isn't it?
It's not a Capri Sun, Moose.
I should bring you guys a bag of milk and a container.
Potato,
And I-
potato.
And I will watch you guys put the big milk in the container because that'd be hilarious. I know you guys couldn't do it.
Right?
I want to see you guys do it and open it too. I want to see you guys do it. That'd be hilarious. There's a technique to it. You got to do it a certain way, or else you're gonna have milk all over the place. That'd be
You know
so
what
Alright,
that
let's
funny.
see.
smells like.
We got some clips here. We got 2 clips.
Clips.
2 clip montages.
Yeah, I brought my sizzle reel.
Oh boy.
I have a
Oh,
sizzle
boy.
reel. I can't believe I brought a sizzle reel, but I did.
Sizzle.
Sizzle away.
Oh,
Is this a retro game?
No, this is
Yeah.
Fortnite. Oh, I can't hear it. Oh,
yeah, I can't hear it either.
You can't?
No,
Nope.
we do.
Oh, well, there wasn't any. Can you hear it now?
No.
No. Make sure you're sharing the volume too in your.
Yeah, you're right. I did it wrong.
because hearing me is half the fun, dude. That's
Hey,
trust me.
We're
future
learning.
me, cut this out. Future me, when you're editing the podcast, cut this out. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
It's okay,
Try again.
Wacko. I know you're trying to get out of here. and go watch Matlock.
Dad's his battery.
Oh, I'm
died.
not
I
trying to
don't-
get out of here.
I gotta
Some
go
of these
watch-
guys
he has-
are on East
He has to
Coast.
watch Matlock.
Man,
He has to watch the wheel before bed.
Wheel of Fortune.
Oh my god!
okay.
All these old jokes. Hit the wheels
Share
on.
system audio. There it is.
I'm just embarrassed to play with other people because I think I'm an absolute garbage player.
Can you hear it now?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, every 3-1.
Look at this.
So they won't shoot in this stage. The goal here is to try and eliminate all the enemies for the bonus. Come on, let's do it.
Good old Galaga.
It's much
I
easier
suck at
to
that game so bad. I suck at most video games.
Dude,
Love
you're
playing them, but I
freaking-
suck at them.
You're the goat, bro.
My one perfect game. I actually a
There we go.
Perfect.
There.
little bit of
Oh,
Back to the Future
Oh
pinball.
yeah, you did
It's
the
not hit.
arcade.
Pinball.
Yeah, this is
Oh
awesome.
my goodness.
I love Back to the
You
Future
know the
pinball.
multi-ball will give me a chance just to randomly hit it by luck.
This is such a fun table to play.
Okay, we got a whole bunch of multi-balls going now. We'll see if we hit it.
Full
Ooh,
of chaos.
fire.
I know, just like the
That's-
DeLorean
that's-
Fire Trail.
That's cool.
Do the balls ever like go back in time when you hit them?
No, but you
Just
can
hit it. So now I'm
zones.
the balls and playing trying to hit some jackpots.
So this is the
Let's see if I can get you
55
back.
table. Oh, here we go. Another one, yeah.
There he is.
Oh, nice
Ref.
shot.
Oh yeah,
Welcome to the zone.
that one too. No one
Glad
can stop me.
You
I am
made
the
it out of the storm.
Oh, burger time.
Here's me doing Arnold.
Buggers for them. Like some kind of like like the Beyond Burger. Arnold eats Beyond Burgers. Excellent.
I don't even know.
Blathers. Oh, no. The pepper shall save me. No one can catch Arnold. So right now, basically, I'm just trying
Ghostbuster
to
pinball.
Activate a game
Great
mode.
table.
Game modes basically require you to make certain shots, hit certain targets.
This is a real world table too. This is the first one I play, and
Every
it's
one
tough
bonus
as all
points.
heck.
And Ghostbusters, basically, they're all based upon things in the movie. So it's a matter of book stacking, capturing the Scaleri brothers. I think what else there it is.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a suck drain the ball.
Also not above sniping a few from back here.
oh,
Another nice shot.
Who the man?
Walk right into that one.
Man.
You're the man.
the
Uncle
TMR.
Gutty's the man.
Let's go some Ripper Tapper. If you've got high blood pressure, turn away now. I
No.
don't playing this game. I find
Tapper.
I hate playing
Tappers.
this game.
Sir,
I
This
only-
is a great one.
I only know about this game because of Wreck-It Ralph.
My chat is booing me, of course.
you found it, Tim. Good job, dude.
I get so stressed out playing this stupid game. It's the highlight of my stream. People make me play it, and I do get so angry playing it.
That's
Wow.
great. I
Little
love
Indiana
that.
Jones pinball.
10 million. I'm only getting points here. Oh, and a video mode, of course.
Love
There
this
we
table
go.
too.
There you go, Swell of Souls multi-ball.
This is a 13-ball multi-ball you can get
13.
Holy shit.
between 9 and
So
13.
right
I
now,
think, yeah.
the middle hole is the
So the
jackpot.
Indiana Jones table is
That is
Oh,
the
no,
jackpot.
no,
That's what
yeah.
she said.
balls in play.
Ba-dum-da.
That was
That's
brief.
what she said.
Oh yes. One more clip
There's a
there.
possibility here. All right, let's see here.
These are thousands of hours of Fortnite I've taken the best clips from, of course.
They say we don't have that POI anymore.
Let's see what happens here.
Or those cards. Well, we kind of do.
Oh, you hit him right in the pumpkin.
Ooh, the old school heavy sniper. I love it.
I love the heavy sniper. I'm
Yeah.
mad it's vaulted.
I miss
That's my
it.
sizzle reel, guys, in a nutshell.
I
That's what
miss
you
it.
get.
I love it. I love it. It's good stuff. If you guys will bear with me for a minute, I brought my own.
Oh,
How long? Like, do I need to do a floss or like what?
Wait, what? Come
What?
on.
do you hear yourself any of these
Oh,
clips? Because if you do, I'm looking forward to it. They pull any muscles or anything, or
All right, good. That's
No
a
Beat
good.
Saber.
That's a
No
high
Beat Saber.
possibility. Oh.
Your system.
And go. Oh, it worked.
look at that.
Yeet.
Jeez.
People say that they like my laugh. I don't know what. I don't get it.
Oh wow, you got him.
Yeah, nailed it.
Get it. Take that, Wick.
What's up, Head Hunting?
I thought that was whack-a damage.
Oh.
Here it is.
Yep, yep.
I couldn't hit him. Saved my life.
Nice.
You got those things to work. I can't use that stupid handle.
Oh, they suck.
Yeah, I can't use that either.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Your feelings are not only forgivable,
They are the very meaning of life that only pre-silicon carbon-based entities can ever grasp.
Yeah, very wet. No, those are raptors. What is it doing on the cliff?
It's only me.
Got him! Oh, who was that?
Finish him.
Yay!
Nice.
But
No glasses.
one time for free, and that was prioritized. If you like Walking
This
Dead,
fight's
you'll get
gonna be
that.
bananas.
I got it. I got it.
Did you Lucio going?
Anything.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
It's second. Yeah.
You can feel that.
At least you didn't win another crown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Almost did it. I almost made something of myself.
Good one.
Nice.
Good one.
Look, most of those clips were from Tuesday's stream, and
That's a lot of wacko damage
There's a lot of wacko damage.
for one stream.
I died 3 times by falling off a cliff for whatever reason. I came in second twice to people I should have beat. Let's just say by the end of Tuesday's stream, gameplay wise, I wanted to break a controller.
They're expensive though, so you can't.
And we did still have fun, so it's
That's
all
the main thing.
it's all in the name of entertainment.
It's like, and what did we learn today? We had fun.
Yeah.
Did not break a controller? Yeah. Coming second is pretty good. Not as good as first, but still pretty good.
So you guys don't have ponchos up in the northern hemisphere.
Not on the western side here. Nope.
Ponchos?
Ponchos, yeah, it's a Mexican restaurant. That
Oh, no.
You get it's a Mexican buffet, but there's certain items that if you want to order more of, you just raise the flag. The waitress comes over and she's like, "What do you want?" And they're like, "Well, we want another dozen burritos," and she just brings it to the damn table, right? So that's kind of the thing. That's what more number 2s than a Saturday night at Ponchos is kind of like my thing. Because when you finish second place, it's like dog shit. And that's what you're gonna eventually do if you go to Ponchos.
Gotcha. You never let me eat there.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway.
No ponchos here.
We have a very big shortage of Mexican restaurants up here, I think.
We have a few. They're kind of.
Well, I live in the nation's
we don't have very many
capital.
here.
I've got like Taco Bell. I've got don't laugh. I got Taco Bell. I have a local chain called Mexicali Roses, and I've got one called Mucho Burrito, and that's it.
Oh, we have mucho burrito.
Yeah.
Bowler Dan, you're put it on the spot here for at the end of the show.
Which one? Oh, my best one?
Your best
Here it is.
or he said or favorite one.
Give her.
He just reaches
Give her-
behind him and grabs some
That's right,
random
man.
one.
He's never ready. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's my favorite one. It's
General
Yeah,
Grievous.
Grievous?
That's a good one.
Pretty cool.
Now, is that your favorite or your best?
favorite as of right now.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
You guys have
Oh, the
stacks
Taco
and
Bell
stacks
Chihuahua.
behind you.
That is retro right
Yeah.
there.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
The 90s were
hero.
great for fast food mascots. Taco Bell.
The Noid from
The
Domino's.
Noid from Domino's.
Whatever that thing was.
Those
Yeah,
weird,
it was a Noid. What do you
those
mean?
weird
That-
things for
The-
Quiznos.
Came back recently.
The
Right?
7-Up,
And they
the
had the
7-Up
electric car.
dot. Remember the
Spot.
7-Up dot spot guy? Yeah,
Spot.
the
Yeah,
glasses.
Spot 7-Up. Yeah,
Remember
absolutely.
those
Yeah,
Quiznos things?
He
that
had
were
a video
cool?
game.
Yeah, he did.
There was a video game.
Couple of video games actually. One for
Yeah.
the NES, yeah. But yeah, this Quiznos had a really weird mascot
That's
too.
cool.
I
Yeah,
don't remember Quiznos.
I'll
But
send
I
you a
don't
clip,
remember
Wakko.
Quiznos like early on.
I'll send you a clip because it was like nightmare fuel.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about. I
Yeah,
do.
the wide eyes, the human
Yeah.
lips. It was nightmare fuel.
It was weird.
Yeah, but yeah, 90s mascots for fast food. Like,
It
trying to
was
think of
like-
one, yeah.
It was like magazine clippings of and like all
Yeah.
pasted on top of one another. It was weird.
Like utterly,
What?
Yeah, as weird as Quiznos is.
and that's why we have no one
Quiznos
has
from
Quiznos Canada.
Canada?
Canada.
It's like
Canadian?
Is that what you just said?
I
it's
almost
like a
did.
hot sub place basically. They give you a sub.
I love
you put the-
Quiznos. No,
Yeah.
I know what it is now. I just
Yeah.
didn't know.
No, it was weird.
I never
it's
knew of
strange,
it
yeah.
back in the day.
It just made no sense whatsoever.
Strange enough, it comes right up when you say rat commercials. What it says here.
Rat commercial.
I just dropped it in Discord too for you. The thumbnail would just freak you out there, buddy.
Is it gonna kill me on copyright? Should we watch it?
It's like 30 years old.
Oh, I know it's fair game then.
Oh, we'll be
right?
in deep trouble.
I just sent it, but it's like I'll never forget this as long as I live. I just like, it's the song. Oh my god. Someone said to me once, they play this today, it'd be bigger than McDonald's. Wakko's watching and he's like, what the heck am I watching?
Wait, where is it playing? It's playing in multiple places. Hang on.
Good luck sleeping tonight.
Yeah, basically.
Like,
All right, here we go.
It's the look, it's the sound, it's everything.
It's just cringe. It's so I don't even want to watch. I'm not watching.
Like, I don't know who thought this was a good idea.
You guys hear it?
Now we can.
I don't hear nothing. I don't have to. I can hear it in my head. I can hear it in my head.
Oh, it's buffering on me.
It's not over yet. God damn it.
No, but basically they brought this. They made a little theme song, and like I said, shortly after this, Quiznos began to vanish from Canada.
It's like we need a mascot, but we only have $5.
I think we all got the idea.
Well, you talk about terrifying mascots. You had that, and you had the King from the 2000s, the weird Burger King.
Yeah, the guy with the big head.
Yep.
I tell you, man. Like I said, you could do a whole stream about retro failures because I tell you, they haunt me.
Yeah.
Retro
Failures in
historian.
general.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Plug your
Bye-bye.
socials. Wait. First of all, I want to make sure that everybody here also knows you've got a couple other projects going.
Yeah.
I know you're on hiatus with your
My podcast
podcast, but I have a feeling you'll be back.
Tuesday.
See, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that, but I knew you were gonna come back.
I take about a couple weeks off, so I'll tell you what. If you're out there and you've got an idea or a passion you really want to try, just do it. So I was mucking around TikTok. I don't know why I did it, just because. And I thought, it'd be kind of cool, a 60-second horror story. I thought, why not? So I wrote a 60-second horror story. They call them flash fiction. Put up on TikTok, and I got some views. And I actually had a great time doing it. So I did it again. And after a while, I thought, you know what? I've got about 15 stories here. I bet I got enough for a podcast. Let's do it. So I launched something called Moments in Time and Space. It's available everywhere. If you type it in YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Music, it's everywhere, basically.
Anywhere you watch podcasts.
Yeah. So I've got my little shirt on, too. So. Yep. Woo. Logo. And there's 86 episodes up. They're between 3 and 5 minutes long. And they're literally basically a piece of flash horror fiction or suspense, basically. It could be basically something gory, it could be something funny, but it's along the lines of Twilight Zone and Outer Limits kind of thing. I have a fun time with it. Like I said, I've got 4 more on the pipe, Wakko. They're going back up on Tuesday. So if you want to give it a listen, go ahead. It won't take you a few minutes of your time. And like I said, I am having a good time just doing it. And like I said, it all came on about in a whim. And I said, I can't tell you what it means to me to throw up and know people are listening to this stuff and enjoying it.
The first one I heard, I sent you a message, and I said, you have the perfect cadence, the perfect voice. Like, everything with this ambition that you have fits. Like, keep doing it. I'm so excited for you.
Thanks, man.
I really loved it, like, right out of the gate. And I haven't been able to keep up as much as I want, but I know it's awesome because
it don't take long to listen to. It's 3 minutes. So if you let it go for a few weeks, trust me, you can
catch up real quick.
Yeah, but like I said, it's free to listen to. And if you're hearing impaired or have some trouble just listening in general, if you go to the website momentsoftimeandspace.com, I have all the transcripts of all the episodes there free to download for your heart's content.
Nice.
Anyone wants to listen to it, no charge.
Nice.
Yeah, that's one of my big pet project.
And it's very, very well put together. Very great stories that are. It's awesome, and some of them come back around. Like you've got some of them that are serial that.
I have in the earlier episodes before the first 50, I have brought back some characters. So I have some like kind of X-File characters I bring back. And believe it or not, you're like this. I wrote a story about death called Delayed, and then people were so excited. They go, well, what happened? So I wrote Delayed No More another 10 episodes later. Death will be coming back the next 4 weeks for another kind of episode. So occasionally I do bring back some characters to finish off stuff like that. It hasn't happened in a while, but yeah, I do. But I tell you, like, there's something for everyone. And if you're also looking at getting into podcasting or want to start something like this or streaming, hit me up for questions or whatever. My advice is free. I've learned all this basically on the fly. There was no one there. I didn't take any courses how to edit stuff and all that. I downloaded Audacity and I just start clicking away. So if you got any questions, hit me up on my Discord. I'm on Twitter at Uncle Gutty. I'm always there. So, and like I said, I'm always here to help.
It's X.
It's X.
It's Twitter because I'm retro.
Yes. Okay, good.
Take that,
It's the platform formerly known as Twitter because I'm also retro.
Twitter X.
Yeah, like I said, that's a big project. And like I said, I stream Tuesdays and Thursdays. You know where to find me. Tuesday is Potpourri, and Thursdays is always retro.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Man, I appreciate you joining us tonight.
Thanks
We've
for
had
having
an
me,
amazing time, just
Much
like I knew we
appreciate it.
would. And that's why we've gone
Like,
almost 2 hours. This is the
Almost
longest
2
show we've
hours.
ever done, bro.
I
So
know. Thanks, Wakko.
thank you so much, man. I
Let's roll
really
the moose.
appreciate you. Guys,
Sounds
let's
good.
find somebody to raid.
So thanks, chat, for hanging in there. You guys are great.
Yeah, you guys are real heroes.
Absolutely. Like I said,
We got to a few of the comments.
Wakko streaming?
I appreciate Wakko abuse, so that's always good.
If we're not abusing you, you should be
Planet
worried.
Panda's on.
What's on? Oh, who's on?
Planet Panda?
Panda.
On Twitch?
Is she Fortnite or?
Yeah, she's playing Fortnite right now.
Oh. I was gonna say, in honor of our friend
Retro?
Uncle Gutty, we should probably send some love over to his bestie Pimquats.
Oh,
We
yeah, we can do that.
appreciate that.
How,
really
how do you
appreciate
spell that?
Pim is PEMM_Quats QUATS.
And
I know he's
saying,
listening in here.
Imagine that.
I keep telling everybody that Pemquast is a great guy, and he loves doing a John Wayne impersonation. So you got to really keep on him to get him to do it.
Dude, listen, before we go, I need more Arnold, because I've neglected that fact that you have the best Arnold impersonation I've ever heard. And honestly, that's really what you should start doing your TikToks on.
I talk like Arnold to people. It's very natural to talk like Arnold. I don't know why. I just started doing it one day. People think it's amazing. Some people just like quit the movies.
Arnold's in our chat.
Bolo Dan, who's your daddy, and what does he do? Don't like my friend. He's dead tired. I'm a Detective Don Jimbo. I'm a cop. But like I still like that. Like, go to the drive-thru and I said, I'd have a cheeseburger and a Diet Coke and the fries. And then I go up the front. I said, I like the way you pour that drink, girly man. It reminds me of my new hit movie where I sling sodas, but I'm an ex-Navy SEAL. I have to say the customers, aye.
I'm dead.
Wakko, I see you're drinking wine. That's good. It's not milk, because milk is for babies.
I'm definitely not drinking milk.
Moose, I like you. You're so strong and manly. It reminds me of the time that one time I said the baby from a burning Humvee I was driving. It wasn't my fault, but I did say the baby. I don't know how. So I just started doing it, and I just totally ad-lib all the lines as a channel reward. I just come stuff off top of the. Like I said, Arnold always has a movie coming out. I just slide right into that movie. So oh my god, I'd have too much fun doing it. My kids hate it, but I love doing it.
It's great. It's great. It's so good, and it really is, man. Like you're one of the few streamers that I enjoy every minute I'm in your chat, bro.
Thanks, man.
I really do.
I try to change it up sometimes. Like I said, I'm always going to talk about anything. So even Arnold makes a little appearance sometimes and talk about heavy topics like, do you leave the toilet seat up or down? Depends if you're married or not. Don't forget, you can be right or you can be happy. Sorry. Someone keeps saying if I ever hit 500 followers, I gotta play Far Cry 3 for an hour and totally in the Arnold voice. So I don't know if I can do that. So we'll see. But yeah,
that's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
I do a few impressions myself, and I hope that one day I'll be able to do them as good, because I'd love to. I'd love to like have fun with it to the point where I challenge me to do a whole stream like it or something like that. That'd be so fun. But and that Arnold just blows me away, bro. I've
got some clips on my channel of Arnold talking about how he could have been Pirates of the Caribbean, how he could have been Indiana Jones, and it's just so. The one of Arnold, like, I'm like putting my name in for asteroids. I go, I could have been in Pirates of the Caribbean, I could have been Johnny Depp, where's the Black Pearl? It just, I don't know. Where it happens, just the mood strikes me, just like, oh my God, here we go,
We got the Hank Hill and Arnold meeting.
Oh, someone's kids or whatever.
That boy is not right.
I used to do Bill Cosby. I retired that one.
Damn it, Arnold.
What's wrong with you? I do not like propane. Propane is for babies. Real men use charcoal. They harvest with their hands, sound fire with their immensely powerful sticks.
Oh.
Barbecue. Oh, here's one for you. That's my puss. I don't know you. My God.
Oh man, some of these are going to be like blooper reels, right?
Have to, basically. There are no bloopers, only happy little mistakes like trees. I'm
I need the spelling of that guy again. I can't find him.
Who?
The
Oh,
Raider.
him?
Yeah.
Oh, P-E-M-M.
Yeah.
Maybe I should tell him because he can't understand your accent.
Kumquats. There you go.
Yeah, maybe. You got to say A.
Hey, man.
GUATS. Kumquats.
Got it.
Everybody
Yes,
ready?
what-
Is that so hard?
That's what she said.
Start the raid.
Let's go.
All right.
Everybody, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Oh my God. This has been an absolute amazing stream tonight, guys. Thank you all for being here with us. And I think it's time for an awkward wave. You got to keep it up. You got to keep it up, Uncle
You
Gutty.
changed it.
No, it's always an awkward wave. What are
Oh
you
wait, I
talking
better do the Canadian wave. Yeah, sorry.
about? I'm
That's
rating now.
The Queen
I'm
is
rating
that
now. All right. Everybody
All right,
rate
let's
it
go.
out.
the? Yeah.
Let's
Rate
go.
it out.
Yeah.